people embarking on their careers, there is a world of possibilities to explore. For those who pursue qualifications in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, the career possibilities are growing and lucrative. In the United States, STEM-based jobs are forecast to grow more quickly than non-STEM professions over the coming decade, and STEM jobs pay more than twice as much. In the United Kingdom, workers with STEM qualifications are in high demand because there aren't enough of them. Here in Cayman, STEM fields are also projected to grow and could forge new economic sectors for the islands. Although local statistics are less illuminating on how and where this growth will happen, recent investments point to demand in areas like healthcare, tech, and construction. On the last episode of Island Jobs, we visited some of the classes focused on technical and vocational education in Cayman. Today, we meet some of the apprentices and interns exploring the professional world and pursuing STEM-based careers.
As soon as I go home, take off my steel-toe boots, that's all I can think about, what I've done for the day,
I want to learn it all before I come back and give back to my community, if you understand what I mean. So,
my goal is to strive towards making this a normal thing, not something that is kind of weird or unusual that a girl is pursuing this type of career.
It's our community, it's our own island, so isn't it appropriate that we build that?
These 17 to 21-year-olds stand out. They recognize their aptitude for technical and hands-on jobs, and they already understand the power of education to open professional pathways.
I just always loved STEM, math, science, engineering, technology, and stuff.
That's Danielle Bryan, the 18-year-old UCCI electrical student who we met in episode 2 of Island Jobs. During the day, she interns at Corporate Electric, where she gets to apply her skills in a practical setting.
It is actually very exciting because as I'm sitting at my computer and as I'm working, there's so much different things that I'm learning in the process. If I'm being completely honest, when I initially came here for the internship, I thought I was going to be doing more technical work, but I didn't know that I was going to really be doing the design aspect of things. So it's not really what I was expecting, but I wouldn't trade it for anything else.
Danielle made the connection that her interest in STEM could lead to a career in engineering after attending a Dart Minds Inspired event where she learned about tech-based job possibilities. Other young Caymanians pursuing STEM-based careers say they found inspiration from family, school, and activities that encouraged them to explore their interests.
From my uncle. Being a child that's been outside since the age of 3 years old, I've always just had an interest of anything mechanical, electrical, and I wanted to get into this trade.
I took a nat tours of sciences from year 7 actually. And I was like, oh, I actually really like science and stuff. But the passion never really sparked until I interned at Health City. That was actually in grade 9. And I actually got to experience the medical field, phlebotomy, orthopedics. So I developed my interest there.
I actually entered the program through SciFec, where we have to do work experiences for 2 days of the week. So my course that I was doing in SciFec was the building construction program, which actually is how all of us got in here. We were in the building construction program, and for our work experience, we chose to come to Public Works.
To be honest, I wasn't really thinking of working inside of a hospital until I did a nursing program within Health City. We did a tour for my high school, John Gray, and we got to meet Dr. Shetty himself. And then I did shadow a doctor program, and I decided to shadow a nurse. And it made me realize that nurses are really one of the most important people inside of the hospital. They're the ones that keep the hospital running.
An early spark of inspiration can be life-changing for young people. It can set them on a professional course that ultimately leads to a career.
I intend to complete my master's in occupational psychology, do any further training I need to do outside of Cayman because it's such a specialized field, and then return and serve my community in the best way I can.
I would like to be an architect, but being at Public Works have opened my eyes into different fields such as minor works, project management, something I find I'm pretty good at. I'm learning along as I go.
I want to study, I want to train in the US because of the exposure that you get, and the experience. I want to experience it all, honestly, because medicine is such a big field. And in Cayman, I don't want to say you're limited, you're not, but you see more pathologies, you see a wide range of things in the US. I want to learn it all before I come back and give back to my community, if you understand what I mean.
There will always be someone who's in need of a tradesman or a tradeswoman, There's always someone whose AC has to be fixed, someone whose sink has to be fixed, all the time.
I'm hoping to as soon as I finish nursing, the nursing program in UCCI, I'm hoping that I can finally get back to my position, where I was working at, which was in pre-op. Instead of working in the ward, I want to go back to where I was before, because I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of the best experiences I had inside the hospital.
For young people to ultimately succeed, however, they need more than just a vision. They need support and the opportunity to put their education to practice. Failure to empower and guide young people throughout their career journey can mean losing out on their full potential.
If we were able to drive more students to the trades, whatever they may be, we would be able to solve a lot of the issues in terms of employment in Cayman. And I still feel that, and I've been advocating this for 25 years, is that we do not have a formal apprenticeship program that's, overseen nationally by, any government, and it's a shame.
Discussion of expanding apprenticeship programs isn't new to the Cayman Islands. Education, employment, and opportunities for young Caymanians remains hot debate topics during national elections.
I've been in education for 10 years. 6 of that was in the Ministry of Education. These folks don't listen. Everything that my esteemed colleagues have provided tonight about education, we could have been doing it over the last 25, 30 years. We are talking about it. Again, these are all the reports.
Within the 2021 to 2023 budgets, however, there are provisions that could advance vocational training. Over a 3-year period, the Cayman Islands government has allocated $7.8 million to employment services and support, including development of national TVET and apprenticeship programs. Now, signs of progress are starting to emerge.
The WRC, which is work, we are now in negotiations about what I will take over from them and what I will partner with them on in order to offer national training. The goal is that people should be able to do training within their own district. I can do that. I'm flexible and nimble enough that I can do that. And that's what I'm looking at right now. The government's gonna, fingers crossed, come on board and provide funding for that. And then from there, we will be looking at other private investors to also come on board and either match what the government is putting or, provide scholarships.
At the University College of the Cayman Islands, students will soon have access to training in renewable energy, information communication technology, tourism management, and sustainable construction, thanks to a European Union grant program.
On Friday, March 25th, the UCCI was very pleased to be a part of a momentous occasion because it was the announcement of a major grant of 405,000 CI dollars through RESEMBID. RESEMBID is a European grant funding agency which sought to support training for disadvantaged as well as their key thematic pillars of resilience and sustainability.
These new career paths will allow young Caymanians to take up opportunities in exciting fields, to embark on financially rewarding careers in industries that are forecast to grow exponentially over the next decade. And in so doing, to contribute to our national goals of becoming more sustainable and resilient.
The training is for 50 unemployed Caymanians who are underemployed, and it seeks to capture persons between ages 18 and 45 years old with a drive to have a good gender balance among the selected participants. We want to ensure that those who are shortlisted really want to take advantage of this opportunity, because it's not just a training course to just complete, but it is geared towards certification. The courses will be tied to international certification, as well as gender internship will be assigned with it, so that at the end of the program, we want these persons to be eligible for employment, because one of our outputs is to see how many persons after the training program have gained employment or secured part-time or full-time employment coming out of this training program.
Availability of apprenticeship and workforce programs can make a significant impact on the youth unemployment rate. Compared to OECD nations, the Cayman Islands has a relatively high youth unemployment rate, 17.6% for all 15 to 24-year-olds, and 21.9% for Caymanians. Broken down, the Cayman Islands had nearly 6,500 15 to 24-year-olds as of the 2020 estimate. A little less than half of them were part of the labor force. About a quarter of those were unemployed or underemployed. Many of the countries with a lower youth unemployment rate have implemented an apprenticeship model. Switzerland and Germany, for example, have established a dual system that combines classroom learning with a work component. On the other hand, the absence of training opportunities can be costly. In the United Kingdom, the shortage of STEM workers has been estimated to cost the economy £1.5 billion a year. Lack of opportunity also means denying individuals of their full potential. At Phoenix Construction, Chris Miles has found an opportunity that he says he never had as a young man in Georgetown. He secured employment at a company willing to invest in his professional development, but the road to get there was hard. He joined Phoenix through the Fresh Start program, a training initiative offered to select inmates at Northwood Prison.
And I've been working here now for going 4 years now, 1 year before I signed, and then 3 years signed to the company. They hired me when I was locked up. They hired me on a program, Fresh Start program, and since then I've been here and just working and trying to push forward more.
Joining the program provided Chris something invaluable, a career path.
I had jobs before then, but a lot of times when I went to look at a job, they'd be like, you got any experience? And I'd be like, no really, and they'd be like, okay then, laborer. But Phoenix, they took me and said, okay, carpenter, helper. We're going to teach you to be a carpenter, And that was a different experience. Instead of just shoveling and mixing cement and stuff, I got to do multiple different kind of stuff. Do everything. Right now we're driving heavy equipment, now we're pushing on further. I never had the support before. Before I came to Phoenix, I didn't have the exact push. But since I come to Phoenix, it's been different. So I've been learning more and I started to enjoy it more.
And how does it feel now that you've found, professional place here at Phoenix?
It feels great, miss. It feels like a good accomplishment, and I look forward to it every day.
Has it changed your perspective of yourself?
More confidence in everything, everything changed. I feel more like what I tell you is a learning experience, but I feel more anxious to learn more and more and become better and better and better, and just.
And what do you want to learn?
Everything. Everything I can learn, I want to learn. One day, maybe years to come, I can probably be a project manager or a supervisor, superintendent, something. I just want to learn everything. I want to learn how to read plans. I want to learn carpentry. I want to learn heavy equipment,
So, and that's the challenge right now, right? So now we got, an adult like Chris that's out there excited about the industry, and he's got responsibilities now, right? So he can't just take 3 months off to go to school to better himself, because he's got responsibilities. He has to get a paycheck. I think that's the big challenge right now, is how do we get somebody like Chris that's super excited about the industry, about advancing his career. How do we keep him on that path, right? Because that's the worst thing that could happen, is that it just gets stale for him, right? We got to keep him on that path and keep him excited about the industry, because it's a great industry.
Chris's son Raekwon now interns at Phoenix too.
I got in this path, suicide fight, bring he offered me a job to join Phoenix in an internship, and I've just been working here and I've enjoyed it, so I've been sticking with it.
Even though Raekwon is early in his career, he also risks hitting a professional ceiling soon.
Because he's starting at as a laborer, and now he has to work his way up. And the more we could get him trained, the faster he's going to get, more incentive, a higher paycheck, and be more valuable to the company too. And what we've seen in the past, what's been the challenge, is that they get into that position and there's no way for them to get forward. So then they get stuck there and they don't like it.
Construction remains one of the island's top sectors for foreign labor and was one of the few categories that added work permit holders during the 2020 economic shock. While the sector has driven economic movement throughout the pandemic, it also remains a major source of lost Caymanian potential.
There's a lot of importation of labor, a lot of importation of skilled laborers. Can you imagine if the Cayman Islands had persons with the requisite skills and competencies right here? What would that mean for growth? It means that revenue would stay in the country. It means that the workforce would be a bit more stable. Here at PWD, through the apprenticeship training program, we see technical education as a driver for economic growth and development. The reality is, coming out of technical education are the engineers, whether they be mechanical engineer, electrical engineers. Coming out of technical education are the project managers. Coming out of technical education are the construction technologists, and the list goes on.
Scholarships are one direct way to support technical workers of all ages. At Corporate Electric, one scholarship recipient, Brandon Bush, is eager to start his journey towards becoming a certified journeyman.
Next month, also, they're going to be paying for my scholarship at UCCI. So 2 days out of the week, I'll go to UCCI and preparation class for electrical. It involves long amount of years to become a journeyman. So you have to go through a certain amount of courses and classes, a lot of hard work and dedication to get there. I'm still not even a wireman yet. I'm still working towards that.
Does it feel achievable?
It does. It does.
That's great.
And everything's so accessible here because they're willing to send me to UCCI in order for me to, get my electrical preparation license, So it makes it just as easy.
For healthcare, scholarships also appear to be driving more young Caymanians to the sector.
In 2019, that percentage became 19% of Caymanian students that are going abroad on government scholarship are now on a medical track. And that's the purpose of why we're doing it. We understood that we need to reach students from a young age, and it's about getting them into the hospital to taste what we're actually offering here so that they at a young age can say, I want to be a doctor, a nurse, a technician, and then that allows them to get on that track.
Conversely, financial barriers and uncertainty about scholarships threaten to cut career advancement short for Caymanians aspiring to achieve higher-level goals.
I'm about to finish my associates, so I really do want to further my studies. Not exactly sure where, not exactly sure how, but that's my goal, and I'm kind of looking into that right now. But yeah.
Would that require you to go off island, do you think?
Yes, because on island currently there's only the associates for engineering technology, and it's just a general degree. But to actually specialize in something, I would have to go abroad because they don't really offer that here. Because I know of many of my other peers who are planning on going off island, but they're not, they have to sacrifice certain options that probably would be the best because of financial issues. So they have to go to a specific place, like in the States or in the UK, that would be relatively cheaper for them and for their parents. So that's one thing I've been noticing. So I don't know if that would be my problem as well, but I know that finance is a big part of the decision when leaving. So.
Would that influence your decision if you got a scholarship or not?
Of course. Of course.
The challenge is how to empower more professionals on their career path to ensure the best outcomes for Caymanians and for Cayman.
In the last month, I've sent out over 300 letters to many organizations, saying sponsor one Caymanian. So we are able to provide scholarships. We have a nonprofit, Build Your Future Cayman, that provides scholarships to a lot of folks now. In the last year, we have provided over 100 scholarships. We've raised almost $200,000 and we've probably given away about $190,000 in scholarship. We have worked with over 380 people. And we are now in supporting people through employment. So we no longer just offer training anymore, but I've been getting so many calls from employers about folks who I have that they can use. So they're recruiting directly from me because I'm going to be honest and upfront with what our people's potentials are and certainly their limitations.
When we advertised, when we promoted the apprenticeship program here, in fact, we had about 75 applicants. We only needed 30. And it was a very hard task to get 30 because we believe that everyone needs an opportunity. However, once we only took 30, we have some plans that we are discussing to see how is it that we can have some part-time programs sometime next year where we can reach back out to those young people so that they can be a part of the process as well.
There are various levels and pathways, but I think we as a country now also need to ensure that there are clearer pathways on a national level. We as a hospital make sure that we do it for our staff and then the students that are coming through that are interested. But I think we're getting there because we have the nursing school, which is still young, and we have cohorts that are graduating that are going into the medical field. Now we can build on having that nursing school and see how we can take that into other areas as well. So we can start to get future physicians starting in the Cayman Islands, if not finishing the Cayman Islands, at least starting on that track as well.
We want the wider territory to realize that TVET is a force to reckon with. It's not one of those academic programs that, growing up, it's pushed to the back. So it's an opportunity for them to also take care of their families, investing in their communities, and a big investment to the wider Cayman Islands at the end of the day as well.
On the next episode of Island Jobs, we step back and look at early investments in STEM and TVET, from CIS to SciFec, and how the youngest students are being prepared for the future. In the meantime, follow the island's latest education news at caymancurrent.org or join in the conversation by emailing us at news@caymancurrent.org with your thoughts on TVET, STEM, and Cayman's workforce.
Hey, Lord, Lord, Lord. Well, 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 well. Yesterday I was broke. Today I got paper beyond your dreams. Fast gone up in smoke. And everything ain't what it seemed. Real